So we're on day maybe 4 of our Exploring Monastic Life program. On the first day, I believe, of our discussion, we were talking about obstacles, I think. But anyway, one of the things that I expressed was a thing that an obstacle in my own mind to taking ordination had been my view that my teacher and my teacher's teachers had these incredible qualities that I could never have. And I wanted to explore that a little bit and talk a little bit about what I've learned about that, because I think it's not an uncommon wrong view, not just among people who are considering moving to Sravasti Abbey or becoming ordained, but also people in their Dharma practice, I think, really stumble over this thing. And so, expressed more fully, for those who weren't there for the conversation, it was this idea that I could see these good, very beautiful, good qualities, very admirable qualities in Venerable Children and other senior monastics, and then in her teachers. And that, for me, I created in my own mind a gap that said, you know, they are that, and I could never be that, or I don't have that capacity. And so, therefore, I won't even have the aspiration to become like that, because it's a given. So that is a really vivid illustration of an ignorant mind grasping at true existence. So it's like completely, not thinking about this very clearly, but on an unconscious level, assuming that this person was born whole, with those qualities completely intact, developed to the extent that I was seeing them at that moment. So they were like fixed, and they came that way, and that's just the way it was. And that I had these qualities, and we won't even go into how I was downplaying the ones I have. That's a whole other issue. But from this point of view, it's like, therefore, because I'm like this is me, completely permanent, unchanging, solid. I came this way, I am this way, I will always be this way, therefore there is no way to bridge this gap between these two. So, I mean, that's the really kind of gross, big painting of what was going on at a not so subtle level in my mind. But put in those kinds of terms, you can see what a huge misconception that is. But by clinging to it, you know, this is the way it is, this is the way they are, then the opportunity to explore, well, how did they get that way? I mean, the question didn't even come up, because it was already so fixed in my mind that that is who they are and how they are. So His Holiness has answered a question once. I can't remember really the details of the question, but the outcome was something like, if Buddhism had to have a slogan, it would be dependent arising. And it is the very antidote, as far as I'm concerned, for that mind that sees things fixed, this is the way they are, that had completely forgotten that things all arise somehow due to causes and conditions. Nothing is fixed in that way. Not me, not my teacher, not my teacher's teachers, not anybody's mind. And so, you know, we recite this mantra every morning here when we're blessing our speech. Omi Dharma Hetu Prabhava, excuse my Sanskrit. Etunte Tatagato Hewadat Teshan Sayo Naroda Evam Vadi Mahashramanaya Soha. It means all phenomena arise from causes which were described by the Tathagata. That which leads to their sensation was also described by the great sage. It is the very kind of essential understanding of what the Buddha was trying to get us to get about the nature of reality. And so, if we want to call ourselves Buddhists, we have to think about this a lot. And in the context of then what is our potential and what can we develop in this lifetime, this is also essential. I mean, we do the same thing with Buddhahood. So, you know, we can see that this person's qualities are really great, but then we look at the Buddha and go, well, forget it, I can never be that. But as long as we have that mind that I can never be that, then we are not recognizing what the Buddha's fundamental teaching is, which is everything arises from causes. So if we really are wanting to explore what the Dharma can do to our own minds, then we have to look at what is the cause? What is the cause for that person's good qualities? How did they get them? Examine where they came from. listen to what they're teaching. They're describing exactly how they got those qualities. All of our teachers are. That's all they're doing all day long, is trying to tell us how their good qualities were developed, how the Buddha's good qualities were developed, how we therefore can develop these same qualities. Why? Because we're not fixed personalities. We're not the schlub we think we are. And so it's just such a prison. I will say this from experience. It is a huge prison to think for a second that we are fixed, that we cannot do anything, and the very essence of understanding the Buddha's teaching. And I think I couldn't practice the Dharma, really, all the years that I thought I was practicing, until I started to get everything arises from causes. And my only job, really, is to then look at what are the results I want. What are the causes that create those? What are the conditions that make those causes really grow and flourish, and do that? And so that's how I got here. But for sure, for each of us, no matter what our aspirations are, what our limitations or our opportunities are in our life, to really pay a lot of attention to what are the causes for the things that we aspire to, that we even admire. Maybe we don't even allow ourselves to aspire yet, but we can say, I admire that. And that's the beginning of an aspiration. And know that the only obstacle to getting there is that grasping on to something as being fixed, that I can't change. I can't become that. And just to end, I think one of the things that I have most appreciated about living at Sravasti Abbey and living in relationship with, living with Venerable Children, is not just all the rich benefit we get from being with the teacher, but also seeing how she continues to practice and changes, so that I have the example of Venerable and all the community, that when we apply any of these things, when we are creating those causes and we are in the conditions for transformation to occur, it is happening all the time. And so you'll see that here. You already have. People have been seeing it in the last few days. But letting this fixed idea about who people are and who we are, big trap. So I urge you to get out of it.